David Lean was here not too long ago, about a month or two ago. Did you enjoy making Ryan's Daughter? Let me rephrase that. Did you? Was the film a pleasant experience for you?
Yes. Yeah.
Realized till I said it what I'd said.
It's all right.
That was probably what you were doing in Ireland.
Which?
Making the movie. I mean, doing this. Yeah. And we have a clip from that, and we should.
I think we ought to get it on as quickly as possible.
You know which one it is?
What? The clip?
Yeah. Do you know what part of the movie it is?
No.
Do you want to tell us anything about it? You have no idea?
No.
Okay. Let's take a chance and hope you're in it. Here's a bit from Ryan's Daughter. It'll be on your screen in several seconds, those of which I'm filling right now. There are 3 left because of the leader on the film, and now there are only 2. It must be there by now.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that part?
Yeah, I remember that.
Say, I think she liked you. That's
She never told me.
I mean, in the Sarah Miles in the
Well, what was she doing, fooling around with Chris Jones then? You know, actions speak louder than words.
What do you think of when you're sitting here and you're seeing yourself up on a screen like that in a movie that you made maybe a year ago? What goes through your head when you're watching that?
I think I've grown better looking, that's all.
I found a quote that I hope will amuse you. It's from an old film you must have done in the 40s, I think, somewhere, because it was from James Agee's book. And he said, in this movie, he said, Bob Mitchum is so sleepily self-confident with women that when he slopes into clinches, you expect him to snore in their faces. Remember that? I knew that would amuse you, and that's probably why I didn't know it'd break you up, though.
No, but his you know, anatomical direction was surprising.
How do you mean that? How do you mean that?
Oh, I see what you mean. He calls
slopes.
Oh, he's talking about kissing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. I may do, you know. I don't know. I remember working with Janie Russell. She used to pop her chewing gum up my nose. You know?
You're kidding.
No way.
I had her on the show recently. If I'd known that, I'd have been terrified.
Ask her about it. She probably had a duck around someplace. She's always got it hidden. We go into a take, and suddenly, pling, she'd just flip it right up my nostril.
What, did she mean to, or was that something she couldn't control?
No, she was just hiding it there, I guess. The shot was over, you know.
All right. We have a message. We'll be back.
I wouldn't give it back to her.
We're just talking about when you make a film, you always hear that the waiting kills you, the waiting, making a movie. And saying that
well, in this last case, it was sort of really a classic because they'd say, as I told you, they'd say, well, there's no possibility of your being needed for the next fortnight or 3 weeks. Why don't you pop off to London or someplace where you can be reached in 24 hours? And that is, we'll call you. I go like a trout for the bait, you know. And I get to London, the phone's ringing, come back. And I go back to Dublin, drive down to Dublin, from Dublin to Dingle, and sit around for 23 days and never turn a hand, you know. And people say, I have to sit by the phone because I get a call every morning about 7:30. And then they'd say, well, why don't you just wait there, Bob, until... I say, yeah, that's it. And then about 5:30 in the evening, they'd call me and say, awfully sorry about that. You shan't be needed today. Shan't be needed. It's black as the inside of a goat outside. You can't see anything, you know.
It's that black, huh?
Well, it gets dark, you know.
So what can you do? Can you read to keep from going nuts? Or what do you do with
If you can read Gaelic, you can make it, but there wasn't...
Couldn't you send for a book?
Wasn't too much happening. We just... Well, I had a bar tab of, I think, $11,000. A lot of guests.
You could read that for a while, I guess.
Good.
You write poetry, I know.
A lot of guests. No, that's a canard. That's...
Well, I've seen some of it.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
I won't pull it up, but you have written... Have you not sat down and written a poem once or twice in your life?
I didn't expect it to leak out, though.
Will that hurt your image in any circles?
It's not that, no. You know, I did it sort of generally. it was sort of private, you know, and I'd throw it in a wastebasket and someone would retrieve it, you know, and blackmail me with it.
And then I read that you wrote an oratorio once that was played in Hollywood Bowl.
It was a blackout, that's all.
So explain that.
I think it was, really, that's what it was. You know, I cued the music and wrote some original music on it. It was I think it was for the first Jewish refugee benefit in Hollywood Bowl. And Orson Welles masterminded the whole thing. And Benny Rubin did the number. You know, he was an old Jewish comedian. They used to laugh. Very funny guy. A great dialectician and a great guy, really. And he did the number. Yeah. And I've never been able to live it down.
Can I ask you about another rumor that you'd turned down the role of Patton?
I don't think that's... No, I would rather you didn't ask me.
Oh, all right, I won't. We'll erase it from our mind. Was it... if you had been offered the role of Patton and turned it down, would you have been sorry?
No. No. No.
What I'm getting at is...
all I could think of was Spain. I just come from Spain and Italy. I don't know what I was doing there. And I could think of all those tanks clanking around Almeria and get my fingers caught in them, you know. I hate artillery and tanks. I can't hack. I regard that as punitive detail. And I just couldn't see it.
When you were in the Army, was it rough? Did that same thing drive you nuts then, or is it the idea of making movies?
I just don't like sharp edges, you know.
It's the sharp edges.
Yeah.
All right. I know that when you won an Oscar, you...
I never did.
G.I. Joe, you were nominated.
Oh, yeah, but that's...
Oh, you were nominated. You did not win.
Right.
But you were not at the ceremony, so had you won, you would not have collected it, or how does that work?
I had it figured, you know, because I voted for Jimmy Dunn for Tree Grows in Brooklyn. Yeah. And I figured my vote would carry it, so... I couldn't go out and buy a dinner jacket just for that, could I?
No, I guess not. Would you collect an award, though, if you got one?
Oh, sure. I don't, you know, they'd have to... I don't know what it would be for.
You're serious, then, about not having any kind of high regard for your acting?
Not at all. Not at all. I've set a very high price on it. Yeah. But not at all. I have a, you know, I'm a good professional actor. It's, you know, there's no great mystery about that. But as long as they're cranking it and they're paying me, but not off, I ain't.
Not off?
Off, I'm a different breed of cat entirely. You know, it's...
When you've made what are considered your best films, like the one you made with the only film that Charles Laughton directed, Night of the Hunter, was that a pleasurable experience for you, more than the ones you could maybe consider just a bread and butter
I think
picture?
they were all pleasurable, really. Yeah. I mean, much later I became very conscious of waste. I mean, why would they make a film that is, you know, that has so little chance, and why would they do it so badly, and all those things, you know? I mean, I was very conscious of just the waste of time, and it's just, I suppose it kept people employed. I mean, that's the only possible excuse for a great many of them. But I always felt that they could do much better, and I was very disappointed. Like, for instance, during the war, you could put a sign on a marquee that said closed, and people would queue up for 4 blocks to see closed, you know. And at that time, they could have done, really, you know, they made some advances, but instead of that, they reached down in the bottom of the drawer and they took out all the dreck that they'd been gathering for years that those agents had palmed off on them, you know. And they made it, and people were subjected to it. And I don't believe that's fair, really.